Welcome to the Crooked Stripes Podcast, where your hosts discuss various aspects of lawn care, landscaping, and snow removal. Let these two friendly Canucks help you cultivate a different outlook on the green industry. And with that, here are your hosts, Brendan Brubaker and Martin Hodder.
All right, we are back, guys, and we have a very special guest with us today, but I can't forget about my co-host, Martin Hodder. Martin, how are you today?
Good, buddy, and yourself. Back for another one.
I'm great. It's good to be back for another one. Like I said, we got a very special guest. We got Ken from the Stripe Life on. Ken, how are you doing today?
Team USA here today in the house, so
nice.
I'm excited.
Yep. Ken is the Stripe Life USA creator and owner, and him and I have worked out a bit of a partnership, so that's been good getting to know you over the past couple months, and it was great meeting you at the show. That was nice, chatting there and getting to see you in person rather than on my screen. So yeah, welcome to the Crooked Stripes podcast.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Crooked Stripes, it's kind of like an OCD thing. It's like you guys are trying to mess with people mentally right out of the gate,
Yep. That's
absolutely.
Who came up with that? Which one of you came up with that one?
I think I came.
Yeah,
I think you came up with that one.
We were kind of toying around with a few different names, and that's kind of the one that came through and stuck.
Yep. Couple beers, get the creativity going, right? So,
thinking juice.
Oh yeah. So that's how we came up with it. But yeah, if you don't mind telling the followers, Ken, kind of how you started and a little bit about the Stripe Life and kind of your vision for everything, that'd be great.
So just a quick rundown is created a Facebook group out of the gate. I was doing part-time lawn care, say weekend warrior, but it was really on the weekdays. And I would join Facebook groups and try to ask questions. Hey, what blades are going to help me out? What's, what is this? What's that? And people were just jerks, man. I was like, you should know this stuff. I was like, well, I don't. That's why I'm asking you. And I told my buddy at work on my full-time job, I was like, man, I'm going to create a group. I'm going to take my logo, my name, and actually do something to try to help people out, because it was missing in the industry. And flash forward now, we're pushing 58,000 members, like real deal members. And what I like about the Facebook group is you can't buy followers. You can't market and advertise for followers. They don't let you advertise for groups. So anybody that's in that group is a real deal person that wants to be there, that sought us out. And that's why I think it's super valuable and super helpful.
Nice. Yeah, that Facebook group you have is very valuable. I'm in it too, and I totally
what's
read
crazy is,
everything.
we're pushing 58,000 members, and I like to tell people we're about 70% pros, and in that pros is full-time, part-time, weekend warriors, side hustles, and 30% serious Joes, guys that are like buying commercial equipment and they have a PhD in lawn care, and they're doing pre-emergence and post-emergence, and they take it as serious as you can get. And nowadays it's crazy, right? Like, and I'm not going to like name drop people, but now you've got people charging to be in Facebook groups, right? And I'm never going to charge to be in a Facebook group, even though I hear some people are getting $30 plus a member, which if, you get out your phone, you're like $30 times 57,000 equals, my God,
Yeah.
it's like I could come in at $29.95 and, it's a deal. But it's just crazy. And I mean, don't get me wrong, like some of these content creators, lawn care influencers, whatever you want to call people, there's a ton of work behind the scenes that I didn't realize in the beginning. I didn't set out to be a creator or an influencer, or a male model. None of that stuff was a mission of mine. It was just my goal was to help other lawn care guys. And I think some guys just kind of get lost in the goal. Like there's nothing wrong with taking money from big companies and stuff like that all day long, But I don't like taking money from the guys, from the average guy, the guys like me and you. But it's pretty crazy. But who knows? Maybe Facebook will force us to start charging members. Yeah, and then that could work out.
There you go. That's good.
And it seems to be
but
a
for
pretty
now, it's free. You know.
It seems to be a pretty active group though, like, because I see the posts come up all the time and, like,
Oh
the
man, I mean,
average post
it's
is, like, 15, 20 comments of
well, I mean, what
people
people
giving
don't see
back.
is behind the scenes. Like, I want you to be as real deal. You know, like Cujo sponsored our group last year. It was the first time I ever let somebody actually like sponsor the group. Where if you log on, it says like group by Cujo Yardware,
Mhm.
and like we get people. First of all, it's been like very low drama with Cujo. Like I could have Ferris or Hustler or a big brand sponsor it, but to me it's like a turnoff. And even though they might throw me a ton of money to do that, like personally, I would never join a group that says like buy Chevrolet, just because I don't really like Chevy. So that would turn me off. So like even if they talk about Fords, I wouldn't join it. So with Cujo, it's very like I don't want to say not competitive because there are some other shoe products and pants and stuff out there, but it was just like a very drama-free sponsor. Sean and his family are super
Hmm.
cool. So it worked out really well. But even with that, and he's the sponsor of the group, his name's up on the top. You'll get people that are like, mine fell apart or mine did this. I don't block that. We let
Hmm.
that go through. I don't like I wouldn't let something go through that's like F Sean, F these shoes, this is a piece of shit, da 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 da. If you word it in a
Totally.
professional way, you can say whatever you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we just try to keep it professional. You can talk about the mowers that I work with and I'm sponsored by. Whatever you want to do, just word it the right way.
Yeah,
Everybody has their
totally.
opinion on it, right? So it's just some stuff works for you, not for others. It's just as
Yeah.
long as you say it in a professional manner, it doesn't really matter. Everybody gets a voice on it, so
And that's the
away you
thing.
go.
You get to the point where you get some numbers, you get a platform, you get this. We hustle the Instagram. We hustle TikTok,
Hmm.
so you have all these different platforms. So you get people coming for you that want you to sponsor. Hey, we'll give you this, we'll give you that. I mean, there are companies that I could get $2,000 a month to do certain stuff for, and I can't. Like I don't use it. Two, I don't believe in it. I gave back two electric mowers that were 35 grand each. Hey, you make so many videos, these things are yours. They were very cool. They just didn't work. So like I couldn't put my name on something that doesn't work, that I don't think is a good deal. And it doesn't matter how much money you get, and some stuff I could probably market. Hey, I might not use it, but I think it's kind of cool. Here you go. Give me my $2,000 a month. But you got guys like Steve, like Mow It Grow It, man. He'll come for you. Like I,
Oh
I,
yeah.
I'm not
S-
taking any money from anything I don't believe in because I don't want
n-
Steve making videos about me.
Yeah,
So
Steve,
I
what a beauty.
whenever I get that, like I don't want to call it a greed little bubble in the back of my head that's like, Ken, take the money, take the money. Then over here I got Mow It Grow and be like, Ken's a bitch if you do this. Don't don't do it, you
Don't
sell
do it.
out
Yeah,
code player.
Yeah.
don't
And I'm
do
like,
it.
okay. I was like, you know what? I don't want it. I don't want it. So
Oh, that's
uh,
good.
you know, you stay true. And when I gave back those mowers, I was so excited to get. I mean, you're talking a $35,000 mower each. It was prideful. It was cool. I was like, man, I'm bragging to my brother. I was like, bro, check this out, man. This thing's badass. Until I had to use it, and I was like, it doesn't cut. It doesn't work right. So giving those back was tough. But I will tell you that when I gave those two mowers back, and I ended on good terms, it's like, hey, it's just not there yet.
Yep.
I was like almost depressed. I was like, I thought it'd be cool for engagement. I thought it would be cool, and it wasn't, and it sucked so much giving them back. For the cool factor, for the money, whatever. But I'll tell you that I got rewarded in so many ways after that. Better deals, different deals and stuff that I could actually put my name on. So it has a way of coming around. If you do the right thing.
Yep.
Nice. Oh, that's
All
good.
comes
That's
full circle.
exciting.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah, it usually comes around. Oh, that's good. Good. Yeah, back to Cujo. I really like Sean. I've been chatting with him, over the past couple of years. He always sends me a pair of boots for myself in the spring because I always tag Cujo and I'm doing my flip trimming videos with my GoPro on my head, right? So
Yeah.
I always get Cujo in there. So Sean's a beauty. Always
Now I'll
looking
tell you,
after the
like
guys.
I wear the yard shoes when I go out and cut. I wear the Jags around the house. But like, and I don't even think I'm really supposed to say this because I work with Sean. I'm sponsored by Sean, and I think Sean's name of the game is the shoes. But man,
Yeah.
his pants and shorts is to me the best thing that he's got. Like I love the shoes. Don't get me wrong. I wear them. I love them. But I'm a more muscular, bigger guy. I have a lot of muscle. So when I'm out there in the heat, my thighs, it's like a civil war going on. Like right and left. They're fighting for space down there. So I would wear like khakis and normal stuff, but when I switched to those Cujo pants, they're like swimming trunks. They're a thick swimming trunk material with vents in the pockets, vents in the legs, and man, it was like it changed the game for me. No more issues, no more inner thigh trouble and damage going on. So it was like a damage control, but to me, it's a must. His pants are the name of the game for me.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't even know they made pants.
Yeah, they dropped shorts last year too, but only like straight savages like trimming shorts. That's like crazy stuff.
Oh, that's
That's
100% what
branded
we
to a
do.
T.
Yeah,
Straight
that's
shorts.
Crazy.
The
Well,
whole
you know
year,
what probably
boys.
was my issue is I found out I was allergic to cut grass last year. So that could have explained why the shorts didn't do real well for me.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah, when I had Tyler our first year, he wore shorts from it was like April until November. He didn't wear pants even one time the whole year.
That's crazy.
But then last year, he gave in a couple days last
Couple of
year.
those
I
silly
tried
days.
out
Yeah.
I tried out Sean shorts. They're like the exact same thing as the pants. I got them in gray, and those are kind of like my off work stuff because I won't trim in shorts ever again.
Oh,
Me
that's
neither.
funny.
No, won't do it. Not for me.
But they're good looking like shorts if you're you put a polo on, they don't look like
A work
lawn care shorts. They just look like a nice pair of cargo shorts.
Yeah,
they're
And it's
right.
like
casual.
that. It's like a swimming trunk material. So, we I guess you could say like renewed working with Sean. I love
Cool.
working with them. I don't really think I'm like allowed to say anything, but like we're doing something cool with Sean that's going to drop in the summer that I think is going to be pretty badass. It's going to put
Nice.
me on a level next to Michael Jordan. Is all I
Oh,
can really
wow.
say. I
Wow,
can't really
okay.
say it. It's gonna, you got Michael Jordan and you got Ken from Stripe Life like on a similar platform. Just a little less money than him, but
Just a little.
we can hint towards something very cool planned with Sean and the guys at Cujo. I think it's going to be cool. So
Nice.
I'm excited.
Well, that's exciting. Maybe we'll have to have you on when that comes and you can drop some knowledge on it.
I think like in the summer, it should definitely be ready by the expo. So
nice.
Got some cool news with that as well. That should be airing not too long.
Nice. You mentioned the expo. I think we got to talk about that because you gave away a truck and a whole bunch of Yeti coolers. Martin and I got to attend. The vibe in the air was just buzzing there, right, in the show. So tell everyone how that went because Martin and I had a time, man.
It was wild. It was great.
So the year before last, I went to like my Hustler rep who was like the big wig of Hustler. And I was like, look, do you care if because they set me up with like a table. So I have like my own little booth. We give away keychains and stickers and stuff. And I said, do you care if I give away a couple Yetis? And he's like, well, what are you going to charge? It's like, I'm not going to charge anything. I'm going to rip old school raffle tickets. And he's like, you're giving away 100% free. I was like, 100% free. He's like, as long as you give it away for free, you put a sign down that like Black and Decker's not involved, that's fine. So I think I brought like 4 or 5 Yetis, right? And it was so much bigger than I thought. And we only did one day. We only did all day Thursday that we were there. And so we ripped out like 1,200 tickets, man. My shoulder, I ripped every ticket myself. I talked to every person myself. And when it got down to it, I had Sean from Cujo, I had Matt from Czech at the time, and Ballard helped me because I was like, look, I don't have a voice. This is so much bigger than I thought it was. And what's funny is that the DeWalt mower burned down on day one. which isn't funny.
Yeah.
But like there was like that was Wednesday. It was because they didn't used to let you demo on Wednesday, and they did, and that's when it burned down. So there was such a bad vibe in the Hustler booth because it's a family booth. It's Hustler, DeWalt, and Cub Cadet, right? And
Right.
just everybody you could tell was like depressed. They were mad. They were embarrassed. And then I said, "Hey, tell your boys to relax. I'm doing the Yeti giveaway today." And they're like, "Yeah, okay." And they're like, "DeWalt said you're gonna have 50 people at your little giveaway today." I said, "Okay." So we ended up. It was like at like I don't know 4 o'clock, let's say, and at 3 o'clock it was insane. There was like people are sitting in the skag in the steel booth, and they're just crowding in and because they get a spot for the show, and I was like, holy crap. And once it got to like 20 minutes out, man, it was like tunnel vision. I was like, oh my god. And I had no voice, but I had Ballard and them jump up on a Yeti and scream it out. So it went well. So for last year we had 10 Yeti coolers, so like our cheapest thing was like $350 or something. And I had a megaphone, so we were more set up for it. And I think what also helped, I mean, it would be stupid to not say it helped, but Hustler gave away a $50,000 package after us. So it's like I ripped 2,500 raffle tickets because we did Wednesday and Thursday. So we had 2 days to hype the Yeti giveaway.
Right.
So between the 2 days, the extra tickets, we didn't take any info either. It's like, what do you need me to write on this? I was like, we're just here to party, man. Like, if you're gonna be here, you might as well be at the biggest booth in the show. So between all that, the 2 days of hyping it and taking pictures, I mean, our platform grew so much in the course of a year that it's really wild when people are like, "Man, I came from Canada. I came from Germany. I drove 10 hours, and you're one of like the top guys I wanted to get a picture with." Like that's cool stuff, Like that is So what's funny is like I took my brother. My mom forced him to go with me this year and help me out. So he's 10 years older. And I told him, I said, look, man, like you don't understand, like in Louisville, kind of like Tom Cruise. We got a lot of people that are going to be, I said, women are going to be trying to sleep with me. Guys are going to be trying to take their pictures with me. And he didn't believe me. And once we got to the table, man, it was like so many more people wanting to talk to you, which was so cool. So we were
Yeah.
ready, and I'm telling you, it was like a show at the show. I mean, you guys saw it. It was surreal having that many people there. You got, and the idea was, hey, let's get the superstars that are here. Let's get some of the most popular content creators to help me out. Hey, you guys be my Vanna White. You hold up the stuff. People want to see you as well. So we had like, people like Grow It, Mow It, and SB Mowing and D's Lawn Care and all, and Kyle and
Yeah.
and all these like famous people you could say like helping out. So man, it was a blast. So
Yeah.
and then
Oh,
we gave
that's
away a
awesome.
truck, in the outside booth for another brand.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No,
So
that's
can't
good.
can't forget about that too. That was
No.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Gave the truck, and yeah, there was like 8 Yetis or something like that. You
We
just kept pulling
yeah.
them out of the table.
We had 10 Yetis and two
10.
custom prototype seats. We had like an American flag seat and like a green stripe seat that they made for me to take home. And I was like, let's just give them away. So it was 12 different individual items at the Hustler booth. And then we gave away the 93 Ford with a ramp rack and all. It was like 15 grand that was that in that truck after that. So it was a very cool show to go to.
Yeah. No, that was
For
definitely a
sure.
cool show. That was Martin
A
and
great first
mine's
experience.
first time. So 40th
Yeah, first
anniversary.
first time it's tough to beat that. I mean, that was the anniversary show. There's so many more giveaways and stuff that I think this year a lot of the companies that tried to compete with the giveaways and do stuff are going to be back to normal, and we're still going to be rocking it. I mean, we're planning at least 10 Yeti, roadies and stuff again. I haven't really confirmed what we're going to do, but we're doing something. I think I'm going to
Nice.
give away a truck or two throughout the year, but at the show, we're planning on something that's just kind of fun related. So not
Nice.
something you can work in, something you can like break a bone in, something that
Nice.
Something you can play with.
something to get you some views online in a fun way with a nice gas motor. And
There we go.
we're just unsure what we're doing yet.
Nice. Oh,
Awesome.
That'll be exciting. That's good. Well,
Definitely got to bring more stickers. We ran through 5,000 of the "this mower makes frequent stops at your mom's house" in like a day and an hour. So
that was a
we
good
could
one.
have. We're gonna have to get those sponsored by somebody where they put their little logo on it or something, because everybody. Then they came back day 2 and were like, "Can I get more of these?" And we were gone.
Right.
So I could have gave away 10, 15,000 of those stickers easily.
Jeez, at $2 a sticker, that adds up too.
Yeah, if we sold them, that would have been nice.
Oh, that would have been nice, but that's tough at the show. I know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Nice.
So you guys ready? Are you guys ready for this year?
We are so ready. I'm ready to go right now, but.
So how does it feel to be Stripe Life Canada?
Gotta say, it feels pretty good. It feels pretty good, but it's been a long grind here, right?
Yeah.
So, no, it feels good. Starting to give back a little more to the industry, kind of how you're doing it. So, looking forward to this season.
It was a scary decision, but for me, it's like, hey, in the group, and Instagram, like everywhere, like my second biggest following is Canada. So it's like, look, we need to do we need to expand, like everybody, obviously the internet is worldwide, so even though I'm Stripe Life, like USA, and that's where I created it, like, but everybody, we have members in 90 countries in the group. The group will tell you some crazy stuff, but we're like the only real like person, brand, influencer, whatever you want to call it, that's got boots on the ground in 2 countries. So I think that's pretty cool, so like when I first reached out to you like a year ago with these stickers, I was like, look, man, what do you think about this? Because, obviously I think in the US, there's a ton of content maker. Everybody's a content maker. Everybody's, something. In Canada, I don't think there's like as much competition up there,
No,
not even close.
Definitely not.
So it's like when you talk to people, when you do your research, and it's like, who do you think's like some of the best people to work with? Everybody was the same thing. You were also in like that clique with like Brian and Chase and all that. So everybody just had good stuff to say. So it just kind of made sense, and then now together with both of us, when we try to work with brands and stuff, it's like, man, now we're huge. Now you're talking 400,000 or 500,000 combined, numbers to work with. So it just makes sense, Plus, it's like anything in life. Whenever you do a deal with somebody, you partner up. You always want to be the better looking person, so that's why I chose you as well.
Nice. Oh, I love it.
I was like, hey, blonde hair, blue eyes. I got this guy. We're good.
Yeah. No, I did think about it, last year, but there wasn't really much to think about. Your message is so positive and motivating. What you try to portray online. I think it's very similar how I do things. So it was really a no-brainer to partner up with you.
And that's like the thing, it's like, obviously everybody's human and normal. Like right before this, like I was telling you guys before, I Gronkowski'd the shit out of my Wi-Fi extender, and that's why I'm in my dining room instead of here, because this thing just won't work. So I finally just like road rage this thing into the ground. So it's like you try. There's enough negativity in the real world per se, so it's like the last thing you want to do is take your frustrations, take your anger, and take your negativity online, because everybody is experiencing in trouble and drama and stuff all day long. So when you go online, the last thing you want to hear is a guy bitching and complaining. So I don't live some perfect life where I'm positive all the time, and it's like an SPCA commercial wherever I go. That's not the case. But I make a mission that when I go online, we're keeping it positive. We don't call out brands. Trust me, there's brands I've worked with. There's brands that have done me wrong. There's brands that have lied to me. I could burn a couple brands to the ground if I wanted to, with the lies and stuff like that people have done. But that's not what I want to do, So
Yeah, nice. Yeah, spread that positive message. It's
Try to be nice, but I am looking for a range extender. So if anybody online wants to sponsor one of those,
okay, there you go.
stripelife.com. Appreciate that.
Stripe Life range extender. There you go.
Something because I got a sweet home office. It's just 40 degrees right now, and I don't have Wi-Fi that will reach it at the moment.
Right. 40 Fahrenheit. I should add in there, right?
Fahrenheit. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. Well, you also have you do mow grass and you have a mowing business, right?
I do mow grass. So I've kind of went back and forth. So I've done pawn and lawn, and that's going to be the name of my book that will come out in a couple years, Pawn and Lawn. So I've been a pawnbroker in the deadliest city per capita, probably in the world, would be Baltimore. And then I started cutting grass as a side hustle. I've had like a car addiction. I've had 40 vehicles. So, I was trying to get something to help me pay my car notes, and I started cutting on the side, started getting bigger. Then I quit the pawn industry for a hot minute, started doing everything more like into the landscape world of things. And then I realized that like my body's not really made to landscape. Like I'm good with cutting grass, but when it gets down to like landscaping, Jesus didn't have that in my goal and my plans there. So
Wasn't
then
in your
it's like,
cards.
another company offered me a super sweet deal to go there 3 days a week. So then I was, kind of like doing that and still doing my yards, and then the content becomes a full-time job. So we're still cutting. This year is going to be a fun year because the first house I ever purchased, I think I was like 29 maybe. I had 5 acres. So when I went out and I was like, look, I need something to cut. And my neighbor's like, man, you got to buy a Ferris mower. It's the Cadillac. So the first mower I ever bought myself was a Ferris zero turn. And I went cheap. I bought one of the cheapest commercial ones. I bought, the cheapest motor. And it definitely wasn't the right mower for the job. So I wasn't like super happy with it, but that's because I didn't get the right one, And then we moved. I started cutting on the side, got in with Gravely, got in with Hustler, and I still did some stuff with Ferris. When the FW15 came out, I had wine with it, made a couple bangers, man. We had one of it just walking out of the garage, and I think a lot of people thought it was a Ferrari from the title, so it got like millions of views. But I'm happy to announce here, I haven't really done a lot online, that we partnered up with Ferris this year, so I'm going to be still running my Hustlers, and you could almost say comparing them side to side this year. So I got the top sit down 60-inch, which is gonna compete against my hyperdrive, and I got their top stander, that Z3X, which is supposed to be a game changer. And I'm not a big stand on guy, so I'm curious to see how that will do. I still have my Trim Star. I still think that's one of the coolest units ever made for a walk behind, but it's going to be an interesting year. My first mower ever was a Ferris. Ferris sent me like a dealer light. It's been in the center of my office for years, so it's really cool to be working with them again. So it's going to be a good year for content. Giving the real comparison of two of the top 5 brands. Hustler and Ferris, and running them against each other, and what's your honest opinion? So it could be good or bad for one of them. Who knows? Maybe they're both good. I don't know, but we're gonna see.
Nice. Put them to the test. Yeah, when I went to the Landscape Ontario show 2 weeks ago there, I stopped by Ferris and I seen that new stand on, and what a machine that thing is.
Like, yeah, 30... they have the suspension and everything. So what's going to be different is like, as far as like the Hustlers, right? Like the walk behind is what led me to Hustler. I had a brand new Skag Hydro 36 walk behind, and like, you push right to go right, you push left to go. So the whole time you're just like this, and your trats are dead. I got rid of that thing with 4 hours on it. I would have burned it to the ground myself. And my buddy was like, hey, you got to try this Hustler walk behind, man. It is like the easiest thing to run. So I ran over there, tried it, and I was like, sold. So nice. I called Hustler. I was like, you need to send me one of these because this thing is amazing. And, the rest is history. I've been a Hustler ambassador for 4 years, and, they put us up at the expo and stuff. And The difference is like the hyperdrive is badass. The thing literally feels like a Ford Ranger driving around the grass. It's like 1,600 pounds without me on it. So that's another 150 that you'd add.
The
But
Ford
my
Ranger.
only issues with the Hustler, I would put that Hustler with any mower out there in the 60-inch category, sit down with striping, deck quality. It's amazing. Had a couple little issues with it, and it is like a little bumpy. You know, you have a suspension seat, but it's still a little crazy. I got the flex forks, which I'm not a big fan of, and I don't think that really did a ton. So when I talked to Ferris and their engineers, they're like, imagine the same cut quality and your suspension seat, and the Ferris top model has like a headrest as well. It looks like a sports car seat. If you look at that, like everything else is a short back, where the Ferris 3300, the seat's the best looking seat in the game. It's wild. So you have the suspension seat, but you also have the frame suspension. So it's like when you factor that in, it's like if I can have the same cut quality, that's the big question. Is the Ferris going to compete and be as good as that Hustler in the cut quality? Because if the cut quality is the same or close, and I'm back in a Cadillac with suspension and the seat, that's going to be hard to go away
Mhm.
from. So that's the big question. Do they cut the same? They tell me they have a new deck, and they think their deck's the best. Everybody thinks their deck's the best, just coming from experience,
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
it's going to be a fun year. You're talking about working with two of the top brands out there. And that's not hard to get. A lot of people want to be a brand ambassador. That's a lot of the goals for these young guys, these young content creators. Hey, I got to get a mower deal. I got to get a mower deal. So, like I said, I've had mower deals. I've given back mower deals. Um, and it's definitely cool because I think for some of these guys, it's like, man, if I can get a mower deal, then people will take me serious online. People will know I'm a good guy. So to me, what makes me most proud is getting these humongous companies, Ferris, Hustler, Mean Green, you name it, like just
Hmm.
for them to consider working with you means that you're doing something right. That you got to be a pretty good guy. You got to be a pretty sexy guy on video. So that's the kind of stuff that makes you feel good. Like the mowers and any other perks are cool, but to me, that's pretty cool. They're
Yeah,
they're trusting you not to just go off and be like f this, f that,
yeah,
and do stuff. But some people think that just because you're a brand ambassador means that you're gonna lie. You're not gonna tell the truth. You're not gonna, and that's not the case. I mean, you can say all sorts of negative stuff. Just say it in a professional way. That's what a lot of people get lost on, is you can say whatever you want, but in this world and as you get older, and especially online, it's all on how you put stuff and how you word it. And if you lose your cool and you say stuff in a disrespectful way, people don't take you serious. They don't think that you're educated. They don't think you know how to handle yourself. So you can say whatever you want in this world as long as you just say it professionally. And that's the goal, and that's what these brands are after. Hey, if the motor breaks on day two, I'm gonna make a video and be like, guys, this Ferris broke. The main thing with Ferris that differs is I've always kind of been a fan of the Kawasaki. So the only speculation, their deal isn't like, we want you to say this, we want you to say that. Nothing at all. Hey, Ken, we want to give you our top two units to run. You run them. You tell us what you think. The only speculation was that, hey, we'd like you to run our motors because they're owned by
Briggs and
Briggs
Stratton,
and
right?
Stratton. So it's
Right.
like, hey, can you run our motors? And I'm like, okay, that's fine. But the difference is like if you look at the Kawasaki, say it's 37 horsepower, EFI, whatever, theirs is 40 horsepower. So it's like, okay, I mean,
Right.
how can that? You would think 3 more horsepower would be better. So they got those crazy oil change intervals. Like I think what is it, like 500 hours or something?
Yeah.
So it's like,
Because
that's the only speculation. So I'm going to be running the Kawasaki's with the Hustler, the Vanguards and stuff, and Briggs and Stratton from them. And it's literally like top units versus top units. So it's going to be a fun year showing these off, and I don't want to say it's cheating, but the yards I cut here in northern Maryland, we're right near the PA line, are tall fescue. If it's not a sexy yard, I'm not touching it. So I could make almost any mower look good just with the
Yeah.
turf. And that's the thing, like way back in the day, I'd buy like the cheapest Ferris that they made and I'd go cut 5 acres of country grass that's never been treated a day in its life and be like, man, this thing sucks. Like it won't stripe worth shit. Well, that's when you start finding out and you get into these groups and these guys are scientists, man. Like this is what you put
Yep.
down this week, and then this week you put this down, and then you spray it with this and you put pellets with that, and then you realize, oh wow, there's like a whole turf game out there.
Oh
And,
yeah.
and then you understand that the key to the stripe life is not a huge fancy mower because it does help, but you can have more power, which helps. You can have high rise blades and sharp blades, but turf quality goes hand in hand, and that's one of the biggest games. And if you can just at least put a pre and post emergent down, 2 treatments a year, it will drastically change the way your turf is, the way your stripe pictures will come out. So and that's where the group and stuff comes in because it really takes you to that next level and educates you a little bit more about the yard and everything else in between.
Nice. Yeah, there is totally a niche group of lawn, fanatics out there that just, know every fertilizer and pesticide that you got to put down to get the perfect lawn. It's pretty cool.
And we struggle a bit with that up here too, because like we have a pile of different regulations than you guys do. Like we said, like a pre-emergent, like
Yeah.
we can't use those here. Like there's no pre-emergent that
Right.
we have.
Can you
We
do
have
it like on your personal yard?
no, you can't buy it here. It's all completely regulated. You need a
So
license.
what can you put, like how would one go about pre-emerging up there? It has to be like a natural.
No, so there's in Nova Scotia, and I think Ontario is the same way. Like the only product you can put down to control weed is Fiesta.
Mhm.
What the
It's
heck
like
is that?
it's like an iron-based
Yeah.
regulated product. You can put it down usually middle of
Because I mean,
May.
when I watch
Yep.
like Brandon and Tyler's striping videos, I mean the turf looks pretty healthy. It looks good.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's like
Yeah.
the
Oh
same with
yeah.
here. Like it's a little different the type of grass. Like it's probably similar to what you have, but like ours, like we do. So we got our spray license last year so that we can do like insect and weed control. But that's it. Like so we do usually 3 to 4 fertilizer applications. We still do all the other stuff and like kind of the maintenance of it, but like there's no type of like pelletize or spray that you can put down as a pre or post emergent.
I was hoping, speaking of Tyler, I was hoping he was going to be here so we could confront him about his issues, but he's not
Doing
here
a circle around the pole.
today.
Yes. Okay. We'll
Yeah.
talk to him about
We'll have
that.
to get him on another episode where it's confronting Tyler. It would be
Nice.
the title of the episode,
The way to go around the telephone pole.
the
while
way
you're
of the
mowing.
stripe life.
Yeah,
There's one
okay.
way. There's
I'll
just one.
I'll let you guys talk about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only one way. Oh, that's
Yeah, you
good.
can't circle stuff,
No. Yeah, we would have similar grasses, all three of us, like a bluegrass, fescue,
And see, that's
rye
like
kind of mix.
I went
Yeah.
from
Right.
5 acres to like a third of an acre, and then when you have a small yard, you can make that thing look.
Oh,
You can eat
yeah.
off that turf. It's so cheap and inexpensive. Then I went back to 2 acres, so I went and rehabbed this yard for like 2 years to where it looked amazing. And then I bought 2 acres that like hasn't been touched. The 10-year-old across the street cut it the same direction. It was rutted to hell. So then it was like back to square one. And when you go to treating 2 acres, it gets expensive fast. It's not just like $30, $40. Now you're like, oh, you want to treat it? It's $200, $250. I called one brand, like a local big company, and I tried to work with them. I was like, look, let me help you. You help me. Just give me. I'm not asking for free. Just like help me. And this company wanted like $600 a treatment. I said, are you insane? Like
Wow.
just for like a granular treatment. So I have a guy that I met selling a piece of equipment to, and he has literally a 4-year degree in like lawn care and plants and stuff. And he comes, helps me out, and we put granular down. So the yard's pretty good. But you look at other people, just like anything in life, man, why doesn't I put a pre-emergent down? Why doesn't my yard look as good as this guy's? Well, that guy's been pre-emerging for 10 years.
Mhm.
right?
Hmm.
So, like
Yeah.
anything in life, you have to put the time in and get it to work. But that's two things that if you're listening, if you do a pre-emergent in, March to May, depending on your area, of a granular is what I like the most, or a liquid, whatever you want to do, and then you do a post emergent in the fall, September, October. Just those two treatments alone, you don't have to get crazy sucked in. Some people want to do 5 treatments and 6 treatments and stuff like that. Now you can also spot spray. Sometimes you get something else and you can spot spray that stuff, but just those 2 treatments alone will really help you out, and that will make your stripes pop more than any blade or mower brand is going to be your turf. Because if your turf is healthy, you could stripe it with your sneakers.
Get it walking. Run your feet across it.
Nice. Yep. Get her
Yeah.
But no,
walking.
like that's the biggest thing. Little turf health goes a long way.
Yeah. A lot of people like don't do anything. They're like, man, I got this $20,000 unit and my stripes look like shit. It's like, what'd you do to your grass? I'm like, what? It's like, well,
Yeah.
you got to have good grass to stripe it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of
That's
that
number
comes to like
one.
educating your customer too, right? Because if they don't know and they just expect it to
And
look like
some of
that,
these there's
Right.
pages online, and some of these guys I follow, I mean, they start talking numbers. And even me, I've been doing this for 10 years, and been pushing Stripe Life online since 2018. So we're on like our 7th season really. And these guys are like, oh, I'm putting down a 2620-40. Then it's like, what are you saying, man? Like it sounds like I'm in college all over again, not knowing what the hell's going on. But it's literally a science, and when you start studying,
Nice. That's
yeah, no,
awesome. I
yeah,
think
there's
we're good
definitely a
here
lot to
still.
it. A lot of
Yeah.
back stuff to it. So
Oh yeah. Oh, there's lots of science to it. So I guess in terms of picking up more lawns for your business, Ken, are you probably good where you're at, or would you want to add,
so
a couple
I've
more?
kind of been like slowing down
Yeah.
because like, and again, this goes back to the beginning, like where people are charging to be in your groups and charging to do stuff. And um there's so much work making content. Like, like
Mhm.
you used to see these guys like Brian's lawn maintenance and stuff, and it's like, oh man, like, he's just doing a stupid video. He's just doing a video. And
Right.
then it's like, oh wow, he's got an X mark, he's got this, he's probably getting those for free. He's probably getting paid. And you get almost like jealous of these guys, right?
Right.
And because you don't respect and understand what's going on. And to make those videos and to take the time to do product reviews, and you might see a 2-minute video, but sometimes a 2-minute video, like I do videos sometimes seductive where it's like of my butt, so I have to get someone to film my butt, and it's awkward and it takes a lot of time. Then you put it with like a juvenile back that ass up song, so there's a lot of producing that goes into these small things. And then you start understanding, wow, well actually Brian, who's like one of the pioneers, he
Yeah.
deserves a lot of the
OG.
stuff he's getting. I don't agree with everything he does. I'm sure he doesn't agree with everything I do, and we have different business models and plans, but a lot of the stuff he does is so time consuming and so difficult that why not make money from some stuff? And so I have goals and stuff, and I like where Stripe Life's going. So I have a big plan for this season that I haven't announced yet online, that I still won't. But I think that's going to get us to that next level. Like, everybody, it's a numbers game. The more followers you have, the more stuff. It's not for money per se, because I don't make any money. For a hot minute, I got paid from Instagram, like Instagram reel bonuses, a couple $100. And then it's funny, I was making like $350 a month from Instagram like last year for like 3 or 4 months. And I was like, holy shit, I'm rich. I'm gonna upgrade to an XLT next year. Like, this is crazy. And
Nice.
then if you ever watch Narcos, it's like that famous picture where he's like sitting on the ground, he's sitting on a swing with his
Yeah.
hands folded. So all I did was make a meme that said waiting for customers to pay. And it was like the Narcos actor sitting there, no weapons, no nothing. Somebody reported it. I got my account suspended for violent acts.
Oh,
And then
dear.
they robbed me of my $350 a month. I was like, there goes my money. It's gone. And
Of
I've
course.
never got a dollar from TikTok. I've never made money from views on TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook. So I mean, that's not the goal. When you have more followers, you get taken more serious with anything. And I remember when SB Mowing had 20,000 followers on TikTok, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. It's not my thing, but this is cool. And
Hmm.
then I swear, it's like, I watched a video, like it seemed like a week or a month later, and this Joker had 1 million followers. I was like, God damn, what is going on? And now, he's bigger than Taylor Swift online. So, our mission for this year is no different than what the thing has been all along. Our goal is to help and give back to the lawn care community. And on Instagram, we showcase the talent and the hard work, same as the group. Like, post your pictures, post your stripes, get some, accreditation and fun. Hey, look what I did, guys. These are the guys that want to see it. So it falls in line with what our mission is, but it's going to be in a fun way. I think it's going to be in a way that's going to help us grow. It's just going to be awkward as hell to make the content, and it's going to be expensive to make the content. It's going to be self-funded, but not ready to announce it yet. But when I tell you what the plan is, I think people are going to be very excited. I think we're going to push it all season long, and when we get to the expo, I think it's just going to be very cool.
Nice. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, well, we're just gonna have to have you back on when
But
you
it's top secret
announce all
right
this.
now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I hear you. Well, I think I might be coming to see you in a couple weeks, eh?
Yeah, so what's cool is a little bit different about Ferris is that Ferris, loves the stripe life. I've talked to like, who I would say the head of Ferris marketing is a lady. Her name's CJ. She's super cool. I've talked to her since the beginning. When I did the wine video and stuff, she's followed us every step of the way. And a couple things happened with Hustler after the expo, and I messaged him and I said, hey, I really want to start working with you guys. They also have a super, like, new young kind of marketing
Yeah.
division, and they're posting like really cool, funny stuff. Like, they posted those mowers at the expo in the mud. So I was like,
Yeah.
man, I just like, I want to be a part of this. And she's like, hey, let's sit down, and everything's working. And like, right out of the gate, it's like, hey, you wanna come up to our headquarters and see your mowers getting built? And I was like, yeah. So, right out of the gate, we're doing cool stuff. Behind the scenes, factory tours. We're going to make a whole bunch of content. We're going to have you guys up there with me. It's kind of right in the middle, about 5 hours or so from each of us. So, right out of the gate, Ferris is doing really cool stuff with their marketing, getting us into I've never been into a Hustler factory. I've asked 100 times. So, very excited about what Ferris is doing. I know their suspension's going to be soft. I know their stuff. It's just all on how do they cut. Does is it going to stripe? If it stripes and cuts, it's going to be very hard not to go kind of more so all in with them. So, but they
Yeah.
got to prove they
No.
got to prove it first.
Yep. Got to prove what they can do. It might be another pick Martin up at the hotel room, eh, Martin?
Yeah, we'll see. See if we'll fly in
We'll
there and see what we can do.
see if you can make her out with the snow.
Yeah, it's just a
Yeah.
little tough with winter, right? But
Yeah,
it
I
is what it
know.
is.
I know.
We'll figure
Yeah,
Right?
something out.
he'll be
We'll
flying. He
figure.
won't be driving.
No,
He'll
not
fly
driving
to
that far.
no. He'll fly to Hamilton maybe, and I could pick him up
Yeah,
there, and
Yeah.
grab me on the way and we'll make it
be
happen.
another good
Well, I'm excited
story.
because anytime you do, like, that's another thing. Like, this year, or I'm sorry, last year, they gave a lot of people like media badges. So, like, if you were a content creator or influencer or
Right.
whatever, they gave you a media badge. So you could kind of get in there more behind the scenes. And anytime you take a little clip from the expo and, hey, look at this Toro, look at this, like, it's such cool content that it does very well on numbers and engagement and stuff like that. So, getting up there behind the scenes, it's going to be badass. Ferris is also very big into NASCAR, so they're like, hey, if you want to go to a
Right.
couple races, we'll get you behind the scenes. We'll get you in the car, in the truck. I was like, can I drive it? And they're like, maybe. But any of that kind of content is stuff people want to see. Hey, I want to see the factory. I don't care if it's a Bradley factory or a Spartan factory. Get me in. I want to see
Yeah.
it. Like I grew up watching that How It's Made show. Here I am. I'm 9 years old watching how a cigarette's made, and I'm glued to the TV. Like I don't even smoke. I don't even smoke. But tell me more. How is it? What's that
Yeah.
filter? So I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be a very cool year running the two top units next to each other and really comparing them. Got a couple other fun deals, a couple other companies we're trying to work with, the Cujo extension. So, I mean, I think it's going to be a cool year. I don't know yet if we're going to give away a truck. I know I got a couple mowers I want to give away, but maybe the spring launch this year will be a little mower in the back of a truck again. Who knows?
Nice. Yeah.
Big
Oh, that's
plans. I like it.
big plans. That's exciting stuff, Ken. That's good.
Yeah.
Would you have any advice for anyone listening, either starting up or, you kind of gave us a side of the content piece to a business, which I appreciate you getting into. I don't know, maybe touch on that for someone.
Yeah, I mean, so the actual cutting side of things is right now is the time to do it. So I quit and went full time in like July, which was not the time. I'm doing summer cleanups, right? There's a reason they're called spring and fall cleanups because I was dying in 95-degree heat with my body, pulling weeds, doing cleanup jobs, things that like obviously they should have did them in April. They didn't do them until July. So now the shit's like 4 foot tall and I'm out there. So I always tell people that set up your Google business page for free, set up your Facebook store page for free. The time to market is February and March. A big success for me is wherever your area is, there's always going to be Facebook groups. I'm a big fan of Facebook. It's the largest marketing platform that's out there. So you can get your X and your Snapchat and your Twitters and all this other stuff, but Facebook still remains king. And if you're thinking about going out there this year, if you're still part-time, you want to add to that, or if you want to go full-time, join your local Facebook groups, whatever connecting little counties that you're in, whatever little cities that you're in. Some of these little cities have 5, 10,000 member Facebook groups. So you join those groups, you put your best pictures out there. Hey, locally owned, family guy, top quality work. This is some of my work. I'm looking to add a few more accounts this year. And you will get very good customers from that, and you don't have to pay anything. Set up your Facebook page, get some family members, set up a Google page, get some family members and friends to review it so you look good online out of the gate. Then whenever you do a job, you get somebody, but a good Google page, a good Facebook store page are both free. Hit up those Facebook groups and it will definitely help you get rolling. All you need is 20 to 30 weekly accounts, man, that can just keep you stable as like your salary per se. And then you can
Yep.
pick up these cleanups. You can do small, like I'm small, so like I would do little things like mailbox cleanup, small rock jobs, a little bit of mulch, but I've got a lot of different I don't want to say revenue streams because they're more like puddles. They're not streaming anywhere, but I still work part-time 3 days a week at the pawn shop. I do all the marketing stuff now and content, which is time consuming. I still cut. I could pay my bills just from cutting, as small as it is. I don't have big bills. But if you're looking to get lawn accounts, the time is almost now. February, March. Start posting before the season starts. You'll get those stragglers after the season starts, but they're honestly not the ones you want. They're the people that first cut should have been April 1st. They're calling you in June, telling you to come out today because it's 3 foot tall. But you want to get out there early, February, March, get people while they're thinking about it, and that's the time to go in.
Yeah. Nice. Couldn't agree more.
When you said Facebook store, is that just like a company Facebook page or is that
Yeah, so
something?
you just set up your Facebook. I call it a store page. Like instead of a
Okay,
group, or
gotcha.
it's just
Right.
set up a business page. Hey,
Okay,
Ken's Lawn
gotcha.
Care. You set up a free Facebook page, a business page. You can set up a Google business page. You can set up a Google website, for free.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I mean, there's a lot of things you can do for free. Set up these
Nice.
free things, and these guys that are like, oh, I don't have a lot of accounts. I can't get more accounts. Are you trying? What are you doing to get more accounts? Do you have a Google business page? No. Do you have a Facebook store page? No. Are you advertising with your Facebook store page that you don't have? No. Do you have a website that you could have for free? No. Well, what the hell are you doing? You like,
Yeah.
everybody wants this dream of, hey, I want to be a content creator. I want to be a brand ambassador. I want to cut 50 yards a week. Well, what are you doing? Because I'll tell you right now, I'm not sitting around waiting for stuff to happen. Like, people are like, oh, how did you get this marketing deal? How did you get this deal? I'll tell you right now, the people don't come to me. I call and I slide into people's DMs. You know what I mean? And
Pound the
like,
pavement.
I'm working with an allergy company right now. I started using this allergy spray, which is allermy.com. Little push there.
Nice little plug
But
there.
I saw them on TikTok. I started using their spray, and this stuff is amazing. And everybody and their brother uses Flonase or whatever basic prescription that you get. And I messaged them. I was like, "Look, this stuff is amazing, and I think you're marketing all wrong. Like, you know,
Mm.
uh, there's no bigger group of people that have worse allergies than lawn and landscapers, right? And come to find out, I'm allergic to grass. But like, you're marketing the wrong. So now I got an allergy medicine that I'm marketing a little bit, and a bunch of my friends that are like hardcore Republican conservatives and stuff, they're like, "Oh, you're working for big pharma now. Look at you." And I'm like, calm down, man. I'm
Yeah.
not talking about the vaccine or anything,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
this is an allergy spray. Just relax.
That's
But
awesome.
you have to go out there and get it. You've got to earn it. Whether you're cutting 50 yards, whether you want to do a little bit of the marketing side, you can do them both. Hey, I hope all these people. I see these young guys now making content. There's enough stuff out there for everybody. It's not, to me, it's not competitive. I don't feel like I'm competing with anybody on the marketing content side of things. But you have to ask yourself, what did you do to get more yards? And if you don't have any solid responses to that, you have nobody to blame but yourself. So there's so many free tools out there. Before you buy somebody's book and you buy their how to get to 100K pamphlet or hard copy or whatever, go into these free Facebook groups, Stripe Life Lawn Care on Facebook. And there's a lot of free places and free tools. And there's a lot of good content makers that will tell you how to do stuff for free. So you don't need to spend a whole lot of money to become a little bit more successful this year. Now, obviously, you can get into other stuff and do other things. But if you don't have a Facebook page, if you don't have a Google business page with reviews, and you're not sitting there and hitting up Facebook groups in your area with a pitch and pictures and a nice homely little message, hey, look, whatever you want to come up with as your pitch, then you're not working hard enough, and you don't deserve this stuff, because the guy next to you on the next county over, the next street over, he's hustling. He's got door hangers, he's got yard signs, he's got a Facebook page. We're talking about 2024. Like, it's the days of the internet. If you don't have your business on the internet and you're complaining about not having work, then you're going to get passed up, man.
Yeah.
You got to get with the times. So
Yeah. All
it's a
on you at
very,
that
very
point.
easy thing for
Yeah.
these people. Hit up these groups, set up your business stuff online, and you'll be turning away work. You'll have too much work. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep. No, I'm really glad you hit on Google My Business and Facebook, but Google My Business is so important to have a good profile. I didn't say that out loud for people in my area, but it's so important to have a good Google My Business page. You get on the maps right away, right? Your name's at the top. So
Yeah.
important. So important.
And a
So
lot of people
can't
are
stress
afraid,
that
like,
enough.
hey, out of the gate, ask your family. There's nothing wrong with asking
Yeah.
your family, asking a couple friends, ex-clients, new clients, whatever. Hey, can you help me grow? Because they're not going to tell somebody and recommend you if you suck or if you're a bad person. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with getting a little bump out of the gate. Some people have been in business for 10 years. They have 5 Google reviews. You can't be afraid to ask people when you get your clients. and you cut for them a call. Hey, would you mind giving me like a review? Like, you don't even have to say anything. Just a 5-star review really helps me land business. They're gonna feel obligated. You know what I mean, to give you a like and help share you. And little things like that, like when you type lawn care in your local area and you come up on the top with a bunch of reviews, that kind of stuff is the difference
Yep.
in getting phone calls or not. So there's a lot of things out there that, again, you can find out for free, that you don't have to invest in all this money and all these books and all this different stuff out of the gate. And if you're not doing any of that stuff, do it and then come back and talk to me and tell me that didn't land you a bunch of work.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Well, where can everyone find you, Ken, online? What's your
So we
handles?
have a big Facebook group. It's a Stripe Life Lawn Care. Type that in online, and then we have Instagram and TikTok. Both of our handles are, I think it's at _Stripe Life. There's a guy that's got at Stripe Life. He's never posted a damn thing, and he doesn't respond to messages. I can't ever steal that handle. But Instagram, TikTok, we don't really do a lot of YouTube. I mean, honestly, back in the day when I started, like, I just felt like YouTube was more of like about money. Like, if you have a big YouTube, you're making money. And again, I've never really got paid from like the actual
Right.
companies themselves. So it's like I never really pushed YouTube. I might start doing a little bit on YouTube, but I honestly don't really care. I like short videos, a minute, minute and a half.
Yeah.
So TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, just type Stripe Life will come up.
Nice. Beautiful. Oh, that's good. Well, thanks so much for coming on here, Ken, and chatting with the boys. We appreciate it, of course. And
Yeah, I can't wait to see you guys in a couple weeks at Ferris Factory. That's going to be pretty wild.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped up to come see all that. So
Yeah.
you're always rooting for the little guy in the lawn care industry, and we really appreciate that. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
yeah, it'll be cool. So awesome. Well, thanks so much for listening, everyone. And that was a great episode. You can find us on The Crooked Stripes on Instagram, and you can follow my page, Stripe Life Canada, and Martin's is Hotter Landscaping.
Yes,
Thank you
sir.
guys for listening, and we'll see you next week.
We want to thank you for listening to the Crooked Stripes podcast. If you like this episode of the pod, subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It's very much appreciated. Head over to Instagram and follow at the Crooked Stripes. From there, stay up to date on all things lawn, landscaping, and snow removal. Don't forget to join us next week for another episode of the Crooked Stripes. Thanks again for listening.